This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much for starting your day the Kentucky way with WKYT. I'm Andrea Walker.
I'm Bill Bryant. It's looking like it's going to be a terrific Tuesday here on October 4th. Lots of sunshine. Good to have you with us. We have a lot going on.
Now at 6, Lexington police are searching for the driver responsible in a deadly overnight hit-and-run crash.
Also on WKYT, all eyes this morning on Hurricane Matthew as it is strengthening in the Caribbean. And it will affect the U.S. The latest on the storm just ahead.
And police in Mount Sterling are warning people about some funny money being passed around, how you can avoid being ripped off just ahead.
And meteorologist Jim Caldwell is in this morning for Micah. Good morning.
And good morning to you. It's a good day to be here.
It is.
It is.
It's always good,
good news, right?
But we've got some good weather news to pass along.
Yeah.
Very warm again today. Sunny skies. That'll continue throughout most of the work week. But when the change hits this weekend,
we're gonna know it.
It'll be a big one, yeah. We're right now at 62 degrees in Lexington. Mid-50s in a lot of locations. We're kind of the warmer spot out there. Us and the folks down there in Jackson also at 60 as well. But more of those mid-50s. Let's break it all down. Today, I think we're at mostly sunny. High right around 80 degrees. A little on the breezy side as we get into your Wednesday and Thursday as well. We'll see maybe a little more cloud cover out ahead of this front because that front's going to be a game changer for us, but we don't have to worry about it just yet. We've got a lot of nice stuff coming at you over the next few days. I'll break down the nasty part of it coming up for you in just a little bit, guys.
All right, here's the latest news this morning. A deadly hit-and-run crash is under investigation right now in Lexington.
It happened at the intersection of North Broadway and New Circle just before 1 o'clock this morning. Police say a man was crossing the road when a car hit him and then took off. WKYT's Mike Byer is live at UK Hospital with the latest on the search for that driver. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Andrea. Police say the car they're looking for is a red Chevy Impala. Now, they weren't able to get a license plate number, but they say the car possibly has damage to the windshield and passenger side mirror. Now, the hit and run took place shortly before 1 this morning at the intersection of North Broadway and New Circle Road. Now, police found the victim lying in the right-hand lane of North Broadway. They're not sure if he was walking in the road or on the shoulder. When first responders arrived, the man was in bad shape. Police say he was taken to UK Hospital with life-threatening injuries and unfortunately died a short time later. Now, police in the coroner's office are working together to identify the man because they believe he was homeless. An autopsy is scheduled for later today, but once again, police are asking for your help to help find this red Chevy Impala. Once again, they weren't able to get a license plate number, but say there's possible damage to the windshield and passenger side mirror. Live at UK Hospital, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, hopefully if anybody sees something, they'll let the police know. Investigators say drugs or alcohol may have played a role in a deadly Woodford County crash.
It happened around 9 o'clock last night on Leestown Road between Midway and the Scott County line. Versailles police tell us a truck crossed the center line and hit another car head-on. They say the man driving the car died at the scene. His name has not been released. Police say the woman driving the truck was taken to UK Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. At this point, no charges have been filed, but police say both lanes of Leestown Road are now back open this morning. Well, Hurricane Matthew continues to gain strength over the Caribbean this morning.
And it's being very closely watched here in the U.S. It's too early to tell if the storm is going to have a direct impact on the southeastern part of the country, but several areas along the East Coast from Florida up through the Carolinas are already taking precautions. Let's go to WKYT's Lauren Miner at our live desk this morning with the latest on that. Lauren?
Good morning, Bill. A scary time for residents living in the East Coast who are hoping for the best but preparing for the worst. This morning, the National Hurricane Center says parts of Florida could feel the effects of Hurricane Matthew later this week, but it's too early to tell if the storm will have a direct impact to the east coast of the U.S. Right now, Matthew is moving through the Caribbean as a Category 4 hurricane with winds up to 140 miles per hour. The video you're watching now is the effects of Hurricane Matthew over the weekend in Jamaica. Heavy rains, high winds causing a significant amount of damage, but Matthew's bullseye could be nearby Haiti. Flash flooding, mudslides and storm surge threaten residents living in the country. One Lexington woman says she's been to Haiti numerous times and this time planned to stay for about 3 weeks. She was going to marry 20 couples. Her plans quickly changed though once she learned that all American airline flights were canceled until later this week.
Every day is hard for them. A good day is hard for them. They're still recovering from the earthquake of 6 years ago.
Now, the governors of North Carolina and Florida have declared states of emergency. Later today, it is likely a hurricane watch will be issued for Florida. Guys, back to you.
For the first time in more than a decade, a confirmed case of the West Nile virus has turned up right here in Lexington. The Fayette County Health Department says a person living in the area of Newtown Pike and Main Street was diagnosed after going to the hospital for blood work. Now, most people who have West Nile do not show symptoms, and less than 1% of all cases are severe. But as a precaution, health experts advise getting rid of any standing water near homes and to wear bug repellent. Overnight, the city sprayed for mosquitoes in the area where the West Nile patient currently lives.
Funeral services will be held later this morning for a man who died months after being shot outside a Lexington bar. Friends say Skylar Ray was trying to break up a fight when he was shot outside Saddle Ridge Bar on South Broadway back in May. Ray died from his injuries just last week. Lexington police have charged Leslie Parson with assault for the shooting. They have not said if that charge will be upgraded. Ray's funeral will begin at 11 o'clock this morning. It will be at the First Presbyterian Church on Pleasant Street in Paris. A Boyle County woman accused of killing her 3-year-old step-granddaughter is going to be sentenced today. Shyla Rayleigh was charged in the murder of Alex Rayleigh in June of 2014. Investigators say Alex died from injuries to her abdomen. Rayleigh has since pled guilty to second-degree manslaughter, and her recommended sentence is 5 years in prison.
Investigators say human remains found in Martin County last week have now been identified. State police say the remains are those of 37-year-old Scotty Fannin. Fannin had been reported missing since last December. Investigators are still trying to figure out how he died. Police say his remains were found a week ago today in the Milo community of Martin County, not far from where Fannin was last seen. Police in Mount Sterling are now warning people about fake money circulating through the city.
Yeah, police say they've received numerous reports now of fake $100 bills with the phrase "for motion picture use only" showing up. The warning comes as Mount Sterling is preparing for court days later this month. That brings thousands to town. The event is expected to draw all sorts of shoppers and vendors, and because of that, police want to make sure no one is fooled by this phony money.
There'll be a lot of money changing hands, and it'll be changing hands quickly, so we want to make sure that everybody is diligent and not be taken advantage of with these bills.
And police say they do have a suspect in the case. They are not ready to release that person's name this morning.
Well, tonight, folks in Richmond will get a chance to meet some of their candidates.
Right. The Richmond Chamber of Commerce will be holding a candidate forum that will be this evening at 6 o'clock at the EKU Center for the Arts. That forum will include candidates for state representative in the 81st District and for the Richmond City Commission. That forum is set to last a couple of hours. I'll be the moderator for that this evening, so it'll be interesting to hear the issues that are coming up there.
I'm sure you do a great job at that.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we're coming off a
order.
beautiful day, and it's going to be more beautiful weather to come this week before it changes this weekend.
Looking good. Let's check in with Jim.
Yeah, you think that yesterday was good looking. We had clouds around yesterday. Today, I think we're going to see less than that, more in the way of sunshine. It's pretty quiet out there this morning as well as we're looking back toward downtown with our sky cam. Currently at 62 degrees in Lexington. Very pleasant start to this Tuesday. Elsewhere, you're going to find mid-50s. You're going to find Mount Sterling and Danville both at 54 and 55 degrees. Frankfort at 59. And then you go out into eastern Kentucky with pockets of 50s in some of the lower lying areas, at least where the temperatures are checked there, where the thermometers are located. Jackson's up on a ridge top, so a little bit warmer here at this point at 60 degrees. Let's expand and see what's happening around. It's pretty quiet for the most part. We do have some energy that's lining up, and it'll be this energy, at least parts of it, that will eventually work its way right into Kentucky and enhance our chances of showers and thunderstorms in the coming days. Let's take you through the day today with our hour-by-hour forecast. Upper 70s, low 80s. That's where we'll end up with plenty of sunshine out there for you. Now, let's make the transition into Wednesday morning. More 50s and some 60s, kind of like we're running into this morning out there with the pockets of 50s. With daytime highs, upper 70s, low 80s again into your Wednesday. There's a very small chance we run into maybe a stray shower on Wednesday as well. Just some energy, a little impulse in the atmosphere that'll be passing through could try to trigger at least one or two. Here's what we've got with the late week mess. Frontal boundary will slip in into the area, and that will bring not only showers and thunderstorms, but our temperatures are going to drop from 80 degrees at one point to probably 58 by Sunday. Nighttime lows approach mid to upper 30s. Now, let me just give you a peek of one of those. This is our hour-by-hour forecast, and this is the potential weekend chill early on Sunday morning. 30s are showing up all over the place. Now, that is a change. That's the model known as the GFS picking up on that. Sometimes it's a little more aggressive, but still, overall, I think it's right on track with getting some very chilly conditions in here after a fantastic week, guys. But the weekend does look a bit off.
Good way to put it.
Don't sugarcoat it. You know, that's the way it is.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm afraid once we fall in, you know, there we go with those temperatures.
Yeah, just the beginning. That's right.
All right. Well, beautiful weather to enjoy for now.
Thank you, Jim. Well, each morning we bring you weather and traffic together.
Let's go check in on Officer Don and see what is happening out there on the roads. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Keeping a close eye on the Todd's Road construction project this morning. Of course, police are running radar just it's just past Man of War prior to that construction zone, so be careful. But so far, we're okay through there. Versailles Road inbound 2 looks good through that construction area. As we get a live look overall, Lexington rush hour traffic this morning, you can see the slowdowns inbound on Nicholasville Road. Nothing big just yet, though. And there's also a look at Tates Creek and New Circle Road overpass, checking out just fine this morning. And inbound Tates Creek, that's, of course, courtesy of the Lexington Fayette Urban County government. We'll keep you up to date on the latest. Now back to you.
Okay, so far so good. Thank you, Don. And we have a lot more news coming up on WKYT here on your Tuesday morning.
On the way, the first and only vice presidential debate of the 2016 campaign season takes place tonight. What voters can expect coming up after the break.
Hey there, good morning. Welcome back in 6:15 on WKYT.
All right, well, the stage is set tonight on the campus of Longwood University in Virginia for the first and only vice presidential debate of the season.
To be face-to-face, the event between Mike Pence and Tim Kaine will be airing live on WKYT, and it will be moderated by CBS News' Elaine Keano. Craig Boswell has more on tonight's big debate.
Mike Pence took aim at Hillary Clinton's record as Secretary of State at a campaign event in Virginia, Tim Kaine's home turf.
Our allies are less secure, our enemies are more emboldened, and that all changes the day that Donald Trump becomes president.
Both vice presidential nominees are expected to go to great lengths defending their running mates tonight, something Professor Bill Harbour of Longwood University says could prove harder for the Indiana governor.
Given some of the controversy in the newspapers recently about Trump's tax returns and other issues that he's raised regarding the past private lives of various people in public life, I think maybe Mike Pence has a tougher job here in terms of making up for some lost ground.
Pence also sought to make light of Trump's recent controversies last night.
We can parse that. You with me? He tweeted this. And then they turn on the television the next morning and Donald Trump is still standing stronger than ever before and fighting for the American people.
Tonight's vice presidential showdown here in Farmville comes a little more than a week after the first presidential debate. And in the first CBS News poll taken since that debate, Clinton now has a 4-point lead nationally over her Republican rival.
Tonight, the Virginia senator will try to keep the momentum on Clinton's side.
It's good. I mean, you know, just gotta be myself.
Clinton and Trump meet for their second presidential debate this Sunday in Missouri. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Farmville, Virginia.
Now, Hillary Clinton has 2 stops in Pennsylvania today, while Donald Trump will be campaigning in Colorado and Arizona. Authorities in Paris are still searching for the armed suspects who allegedly robbed Kim Kardashian at gunpoint. The reality star says she was tied up inside her hotel room as the crooks made away with more than $10 million in jewels. Her husband, Kanye West, has canceled more tour dates this week in the wake of that incident. Pope Francis is making a surprise visit to the site of the devastating August earthquake in central Italy. The Vatican says the Pope arrived in Amatorice this morning. The pontiff will be visiting the hardest hit area of the town, which remains largely closed due to security concerns.
All right, the time now is 6:18 on your Tuesday. Getting cash is costing more. ATM fees hit a new high for the 10th straight year. According to Bankrate.com, the average fee to use another bank's machine jumped to $2.90, while the fee charged by a consumer's own bank for going out of network went up to $1.67. That adds up to $4.57 per withdrawal. Google will announce some new devices later today in San Francisco. Tech experts speculate it will introduce 2 new phones. The guessers got some help yesterday when a UK retailer prematurely posted this picture of the 5-inch Pixel phone before quickly taking the image down. Well, leaders of a House panel want EpiPen maker Mylan to explain why the company's CEO apparently misled Congress about the profits the company makes for the life-saving injection device. CEO Heather Bresch repeatedly told the panel last month that Mylan made just $50 in profit for EpiPens that sold more than $300 apiece. But the lawmakers say the numbers she cited were calculated after factoring in the U.S. tax rate. And American Airlines' new wool uniforms have some employees crying for cotton. The airline's 80,000 employees started wearing new wool uniforms in September. More than a dozen flight attendants complained of a wool allergy, reporting hives, rashes, and headaches. Americans say employees can wear cotton or polyester versions of the same uniforms.
Well, it sounds like some are going to take that option, apparently. But a new look.
Sounds like they should.
New look at the friendly skies. All right, thank you. WKYT this morning, just getting started. Great to have you with us here on this Tuesday. A lot more coming up. A serious crash barely avoided during a car rally in Texas. The dramatic footage showing how it all played out. Just ahead on WKYT this morning.
And we have more super weather coming your way today with highs back around 80 degrees. And that's a trend that's going to continue for a few days, but we will track when it comes to an end as well. Coming up for you in just a few minutes.
It's 6:23. Welcome back to WKYT. Police say a man has died after being hit by a car in Lexington overnight.
That's what's trending at this hour here at WKYT News. It happened just after 1 a.m. at the intersection of North Broadway and New Circle. The victim has not been identified at this point. Police say the driver took off after hitting the man, and they're searching right now for a red Chevy Impala with some passenger side damage.
All eyes are on Hurricane Matthew as the system continues to gain strength in the Caribbean. The Category 4 hurricane is expected to bring life-threatening rain, wind, and storm surge to Haiti after hitting Jamaica and Cuba. Matthew could take aim at Florida and the southeastern U.S. coast later this week.
We anticipate a beautiful day around here today in Kentucky. Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Yeah, guys, daytime highs probably getting into the upper 70s, low 80s, mainly sunny skies. No direct impact, at least at this point, from Matthew. Now, later on in the week, it could have an indirect impact on folks around here by causing a front to kind of stall out, hang up, and give us a better chance of rain. And then eventually we get some cooler air. 50s and 60s showing up area-wide out there at the moment. Our Defender radar network will be quiet this morning, and I think it's quiet for the most part until maybe Friday night. There's a small chance of rain we could run into on Wednesday, but other than that, I think we're pretty dry throughout that 7 days. So, as mentioned, we're at 62 here in Lexington right now. Let's break it down hour by hour through the day. You see our temperatures continue to kind of cruise right on up into the mid-70s and upper 70s for daytime highs today. Factor in all that sunshine, and you have yourself a very good-looking, above-average October day, guys.
All right, thank you, Jim. 6:25 is the time on WKYT this morning. And frightening moments during a car rally out in Texas. A driver got really dangerously close to hitting dozens of people in the crowd.
He did. Take a look at this video shot by a spectator. It captured the scene as the frenzy unfolds. Onlookers, including children, only had a few seconds to jump for safety. Organizers say the event draws hundreds of car enthusiasts each year, and while drivers are allowed to show off their engines, the first priority is safety. Now, luckily, no one was injured. Police cited the driver of the Mustang for reckless driving.
All right, and let's moving on to this now, an interesting story.
We all know that moving can be a real pain between the boxes, the packing, then the unpacking. It would be so much easier to just move your house. Or would it?
Well, a duplex home being moved on wheels out in Austin, Texas, got stuck right in the middle of the street when it turned out to be too wide for the move. Had the wide load sign, but they didn't know it was that wide. The accident caused damage to utility poles, trees, landscaping, adding insult to injury. Officials say the company behind the move didn't even have the permits required to transport the structure. So that company is also now facing a hefty fine. So
Bad news all around.
It just went all wrong. Yeah, just pack up your belongings next time.
Yeah.
All right, after 20 years, the Atlanta Braves bid farewell to Turner Field, and they did so with a very special guest in the stands.
They sure did. Thousands of fans showed up to kiss the Ted goodbye over the weekend, and among the smoochers, former President Jimmy Carter and wife Rosalind, who were caught locking lips on the kiss cam.
Yeah, he planted one there, didn't he?
He sure did, didn't he? Gave him a show.
All right. What about that? Former President Carter apparently doing well after that cancer scare
Yeah, he
a
looked
couple of
good.
years ago. Really did. All right, good to have you here on WKYT this morning.
When we come back, an important change for parents who send their children to Fayette County Public Schools. We'll explain what it is coming up at 6:30.
All of our top stories are on the way, and tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $35 million. Tomorrow night's Powerball jackpot is $80 million. Keep it here with us on WKYT.